This is fantastic.
I'm very happy that he's doing this project because he's the man.
But I bet the cast has a banger script ready to go for when he dies inevitably.
Oh, God.
What's poppin', Palaxy? Today on the Bounty Board, we talk about all things Fantastic Four and Deadpool 3. So, you know what to do. Pick up that dang warp drive and let's punch this thing. Welcome back to the Guardians of the Palaxy podcast, everybody. What's going on? My name is MT, and I'm here with my wonderful friends, Whitney Van Laningham and Tommy Bechtold. What's going on, gang? How's your week's been?
Bro, my week has been freaking great. First of all, we got a new merch store.
We got merch now.
I spent like all day on Friday building our little merch website, and I was having so much fun. It took me back to my MySpace days of like planning like the layout and shit, and it was so much fun. And then I had like a bunch of things that I was really confused about. Like I was like, how do you turn on automatic fulfillment? And then I would look it up and I would find the answers, and I felt like a god because I figured it all out myself with the help of Google, and it was great. I didn't have to like message it,
that really does sound like the MySpace page live. It's like, how do I change my background?
Yeah, how do I change my background? How do I change my profile pic? Yeah, how do I add music? Like that's what it felt like, and I was so proud of myself for just like taking myself all the way back to 2004 and MySpacing the shit out of our merch store. Guardians of the Palaxy .store. Go there, buy shit. It's one of the best ways to support us right now.
We got mugs, we got crop tops, we got shirts.
We've got original artwork created by the wonderful Paintamenti.
Oh my gosh! Shout out to Paintamenti. She is wonderful and amazing. She designed that Palaxy art. It was actually a birthday gift for Tommy Bechtold, and it is so cool. And we've been dying to put it on like a t-shirt or something for months and months and months. And we finally decided to do it because we want to support real human artists in the world.
Who needs AI art? Not me.
Not I, said the mouse. Not AI.
The only AI I need is Allen Iverson and the AI that helps me Google things like how to do autofulfillment. Those AIs are fine.
Oh, no, they're great. Yeah, those ones dope.
We do not want to upset our AI overlords when they answer our deeply complicated technical questions. So please, computer, if you're listening, I just don't want you to make art.
Yeah, I want you to like feed people and answer our Google questions. Be my Ask Jeeves.
Preferably run by Ultron. And it's just going to be beautiful. An age of metal men.
And that's why I'm excited to announce our new merch store, Art by Ultron. Doubles as a merch store and it answers things. You can ask things like, Ultron, how do you kiss a girl? And he'll tell you.
He'll tell you right away.
That's good information to learn because girls,
it's called
what's
Ask
that?
Ultron, and he wears a little butler suit, and that's an Easter egg. For those who remember Jeeves the butler.
Hey, guys, remember we were going to do a podcast?
Yeah, I forgot about that. I super always forget about that.
Well, I'm glad that you guys are feeling great. I myself are feeling fantastic myself. And that's a great transition to the thing that we're going to talk about. Because in this podcast episode, we're going to be talking about the Fantastic Four news and some theories about that, Deadpool news, and a little bit of a conversation about that. And, just like catching up on all that stuff because we want to talk about it with you guys because it's been a little bit. And we had some thoughts.
We know that we're a little late to the game. We know that this is old news by now. We understand that more than anybody. We had to do Avatar. We had to do some other stuff.
He was in the Amazon with my mom.
First, we're sorry that this is so late, but guess what? In the Palaxy, we only operate on Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville time, which means that it's 5 o'clock somewhere, everywhere. And we do not adhere to schedules. We take our time.
Exactly.
We let the information soak in. And so we're sorry that this isn't viral news right now, but we're not sorry because we're going to talk about it with you. And you're our pals and we love you. So get excited. We're excited.
We love you, pals. Speaking of soaking, let's talk about this cast of Fantastic Four.
Talk about this.
Speaking of soaking.
Soaking and smoking hot cast.
Smoking.
Yes, this cast is like I think it's solid, but like it's sort of controversial because like people are like, yo, this is not what I wanted, blah 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 blah. But like that's just nerds in general. But I think this is a solid cast. So we got Pedro Pascal, we got Vanessa Kirby, we got Joseph Quinn, Ebon. Is it Ebon or Ebon Moss?
Ebon Moss.
Bachrach? I'm sorry, sir.
I'm sorry.
Bachrach?
I would say podcasts and in general are batting about like 100, saying or like 20% saying his name correctly. That poor guy. Like every podcast I've heard, they're like Ebon Moss, and I think I'm getting this right. Bachrach. It's like, dude, just release a YouTube short where you just say your name 5 times and everybody can get it right.
Yeah, 5 times in a row, because it could be Bachrach, which sounds awesome, by the way. That is Bach and it rocks. It's a rock like a Bach that we learned in the school.
I mean, he is a rock man.
Yeah.
So Bachrach.
I would be into that. I would be into a little Bachrach action. No, I just call him Desi because of his role on Girls in the 2010s, in the early 2010s.
He was on The Girls? I still have to watch that show.
Yeah, no, you don't. It's just a bunch of white women whining.
White women whining? Oh, man, I'm in.
I was living in New York, and I was like roughly the same age as The Girls. And so I was like, oh my God, this show is my life. And then like looking back, I'm like, oh, I was a big whiner back then. So it makes sense.
Business idea, guys. White woman winery.
Yeah. Where like you get drunk and you watch Girls and Sex in the City only.
Yes. And we only serve white wines. We might do a blush, but we're never doing red wine. White wines only. Listen, I got to say, Mr. Fantastic, Pedro Pascal. I've had a few discussions about this offline with some people. Here's why I love this casting. And I get there's the risk of like, are we getting too much Pascal? Are we making a Pascal's wager?
No such thing.
With The Last of Us and Mando and now Fantastic Four. And the thing is, I think what people don't realize is like his ability to encapsulate different kind of tonal performances, like the way he is as Din Djarin and the way he is in The Last of Us, and versus who he needs to be for Mr. Fantastic, is kind of like it's the perfect cross section of real life Pedro Pascal and Mandalorian or Last of Us Pedro Pascal. Because real life Pedro Pascal is very silly, very irreverent, very goofy. TV acting or movie acting, Pedro Pascal tends to be very serious, notwithstanding the Nicolas Cage movie that he was a
obviously.
Goofball. I think like Mr. Fantastic is a little corny. You know, he's like a dad. He's like any hyper intellectual person you know. Like social skills are a little more difficult for him. So I feel like getting to see that side of a Pedro Pascal character is very exciting for me.
Oh, for sure. I've actually kind of been picturing him. I know this is like weird, but I've a little bit been picturing him with like the vibes of the dad from Spy Kids. Like that's a little bit like what I'm picturing for Mr. Fantastic, where he's really good at his job, but he's also like cheesy dad at the same time.
Right. I was obsessed with Spy Kids as a kid. I
love Spy Kids.
Ungodly obsessed.
Oh, same.
I read all the books. It was kind of like really weird. All my friends were like, "Oh my God, MT, please talk to girls." I'm like, too hard.
Floop is a madman. Help us, save us. And I just activated a bunch of you like sleeper agents.
No, I think that Pedro Pascal is a really great choice for this role because like he does have like a very fatherly role to him. Like he's always playing fathers or fatherly type figures.
He is daddy.
He really is. He do be daddy though.
Is daddy.
I really like how it seems like we're going to be getting a much older Fantastic Four, and like we might be getting the whole family. Might be getting like Franklin and Valeria Richards, which I am super excited about because Valeria Richards is no joke, probably in my top 3 favorite Marvel characters of all time. Because I just love a sassy, smart little girl. Like it's just really funny. And like I feel like she has so much potential to be like a Moon Girl type of like, like we're just gonna take over the world with our freaking genius and like getting into like lots of scrapes and lots of like weird
shenanigans.
Yes, shenanigans, little smart guy action. But yes, I'm very excited for Valeria, and I hope that we get like the kids in the first movie right away.
Well, we can't get kids without a Mrs. Fantastic, a Sue Storm, a Vanessa Kirby. 10 out of 10 casting for the Tom Bechtolds of the world.
Oh, you guys know what I'm going to say. She plays Hattie Shaw in Hobbs and Shaw. Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. So she is Deckard Shaw's sister in the Fast and the Furious franchise in that universe. So I'm very excited.
I mean, like, for the longest time, I only knew her as the sexy Mission Impossible lady. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of this casting as well. She's just really good at just what she does. And, like, I feel like all of her roles very much embody a very, like, Sue Storm type of, like, I don't know, like, I feel like elegance is the wrong word, but like sophistication rather. Like Sue Storm's like very, very smart and she's very well put together. And like Vanessa Kirby usually plays characters much like that. So I feel like that was solid, like A1 casting, man. Like
that's another role where it's like same with Pedro Pascal, where it's like, oh hell yeah, you know she can do the action, you know she can do the stunts because of her past performances. I'm very excited.
Like I just want to see her and Namor interact because that's going to be some spicy hot
spice,
stuff.
Spice. God, Namor is so hot.
Yes, the fan fiction is going to be I'm going to be making all the fan fiction. Just kidding, I don't fan fiction. I will start though. I will start writing fan fiction once we get some Namor Sue action.
Let's sell our Sue Storm Namor fan fiction on the merch site.
He's just stretching his long neck around the corner, like peering into the door. That's my wife. That's my wife.
My God. That's a whole new genre.
It's just his head neck just keeps stretching closer. Finally, he's just like right next to their faces. Don't mind me. I'm just watching.
No.
I'm just critiquing.
This is fantastic.
But speaking of hard things, The Thing.
The Thing.
Perfect transition. Mr. Ebon Moss-Bachrach, the man with the back rocks, is now The Thing. How do you guys feel about this?
I love this actor. Loved him on Andor. Loved him on The Bear. He's pretty much steals whatever scene, he's in on shows that he's on. I did have a little soft spot in my heart for the David Krumholtz movement to make David Krumholtz The Thing. But I think
I love that guy, honestly.
I think David Krumholtz's crankiness comes across in a more Danny DeVito, if that makes sense. It's like kind of a like harmless crankiness, whereas Ebon Moss-Bachrach, his anger and intensity is slightly more menacing and scary. And if you're going to be a giant rock monster, I think you need a little menace to you. So I love the casting. I think the casting is good. I'll be honest, you're not going to hear a lot of complaints about the casting from me in general for this movie. I thought they kind of nailed
That's not what you said before we hit record. You had all the. I'm just kidding.
You were so
That's not true at all.
It's true.
And I have the same problem that I had with Loki, where like I wanted Owen Wilson to say "wow" so badly, like with my.
I'm so upset that we never got that.
And soul,
like
I wanted
in 2
that.
seasons.
And now I know I'm not going to get it, but I want The Thing to say, "You good, cousin?" Like, I need him to. I need him to say the cousin line.
Or just yell corners or something. Just yell like, corner!
But no, like, my first exposure to this actor was when he played Micro in The Punisher. That's like, it's so cool to see that, Marvel continues to double dip really, really talented actors. I wonder if did Micro survive season 2? Or like the last season I don't remember if he's still around. Like it would be cool to see him reprise his role, but like I totally forgot about what happened. I need to rewatch The Punisher. It's been so long.
Dude, yeah, same. I completely blanked on that show. It's been so long since I've seen it.
After I started hearing that like those shows are being canceled, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna not watch these because it's gonna break. I don't like watching shows that end without resolution.
So I'm just like, I don't know. It's so hard to. It's kind of like the same. I mean, one of the many DCEU issues I had was like, these movies don't matter anymore. You told us they don't matter anymore. Not to be like a hyper fixated nerd on it, but it's like, if you've already told us these movies don't matter and this universe is dying, it's like a dying star. How do you expect me to shell out, $20+ to go to see this movie and not just wait for it to come on to streaming where I can spend $20+ on my multiple streaming services? Because I don't understand how capitalism works and I want to do it my way. Speaking of doing it his way, Johnny Storm himself, Joseph Quinn, straight from the underground, 6 feet underground, actually, if I recall.
I do not know anything about Joseph Quinn. Everyone loves this man.
Because he was Eddie in the latest season of latest season of Stranger Things, dude. And he plays Eddie / Vecna / I mean Eddie, not Vecna. Eddie who gets got by Vecna. Sorry, is what I meant to say.
He gets killed by the demi bats, right? He gets bat bit.
Yeah, he sacrifices himself to the demo bats to save Dustin, the kid. To
save Dustin, who's just kind of always getting people killed. But that's okay, because he sings like an angel. Yeah, I think Joseph Quinn is great casting for this. He's got the cockiness that Johnny Storm needs, and also the when he does look like a fool, it's it hits him emotionally. Anytime Eddie Munson was embarrassed in the last season of Stranger Things, it was oh, this guy is just kind of sad. He does a great job of that. So
Joseph Quinn also just has one of those really timeless faces where we saw him in Game of Thrones and he looked like he fit that era, but then throw a wig on him and hand him a guitar and suddenly he
was in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, he was in Game of Thrones, Joseph
Damn,
Quinn.
I've completely, he's not even on my radar. I don't know why. I've missed everything that he's been in. So since you guys are in the Quinn zone, my question to you guys is, I feel the most important thing that Johnny Storm, the most important quality a Johnny Storm can have is good chemistry with Peter Parker. So do you guys see Joseph Quinn having good chemistry with Tom Holland?
Oh,
absolutely.
Yes.
Both British guys pretending to be New Yorkers.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. They
The
just
true New York
talk to each other
experience.
in their alt voices. Oh my God.
Hey, Peter.
Amazing.
Look out on your left. Thanks, Johnny. Cut. Hello. Hey, Tom, can I ask you a question? Did you say they were out of Bigelow tea?
You want to step outside for a game of cricket? You want to step outside? You want to go get a cheeky Nando's?
Excuse me, Matt Shackman, I believe I ordered crumpets for breakfast, and I have not gotten my crumpets yet. All right, and action.
Can we change this?
Go! Flame on!
Oh, let's save New York!
I'm gonna go to the Wu-Tang Clan concert later.
I love them Beastie Boys.
Did you guys write the script for the upcoming Fantastic Four?
We did.
My
That's
God.
the actual script, yeah.
We typed the prompt into ChatGPT and told them to write.
And in this world, because the world has forgotten who Spider-Man is, in this timeline, he's just a cabbie now. He's a cabbie, and Johnny Storm runs into him, and they start yelling about New York stuff together, and that's how he meets Spider-Man.
10 out of 10.
You can't get a good bagel around here anymore. They're closing all the good pizza places and turning them into Capital One cafes. I hate it.
These tourists keep asking for scoop bagels at my deli. I swear to God, I'm going to kill the next one who does. I'm going to kill the next guy who asks for a scooped bagel.
By the way, never scoop a bagel, but I don't mind if you scoop a sub bread. That is a whole loaf of bread. If you want to get that scooped a little bit, I'm okay with it.
Well, that's a loaf of sub bread, not bagels, Tommy. You can't walk into
that's
a
what
deli.
I'm saying. Bread okay, bagel no way.
Yeah, bread okay, bagel no fucking way. That's not only is it insulting to the bodega owners, they will laugh in your fucking face. I used to live in New York, and I lived on Lexington and 28th, and there was a bodega on my street corner, and every single time I went to get a bagel, it did not matter how much cash I had in my hand. He never gave me change. And I made the fucking mistake of buying a $2 bagel with a 20 once. And he kept my $18.
Wow.
And I was like, can I have my change? And he was like, nope, not how it works in this bodega. And you kind of just have to live with that as a New Yorker. Like the bodega owner makes the rules. The man who makes the bagels makes the rules. You cannot fight that. So
I would have hopped out that bitch with 10 bagels. I would have been like, give me them bagels, $20 with the bagels. What are you talking about?
Give me all that cream cheese your cat just walked across, all right?
Yeah. Give me all of that.
Give me
all of that cat cream cheese.
So we've got the forecasting. We think the forecast for the Fantastic Four.
Nice.
Fantastic forecast.
The tweet sent out on Valentine's Day was a poster of them in the 60s, right? So it seems to be implying that this movie is going to be a period piece. I don't have a problem with that. I think, this is going to be probably a further step in the multiverse. It's probably going to be another universe, right? It's probably not going to be Earth 616.
I loved Days of Future Past so much. I want to feel like that again. I want to feel like that when I watch the Fantastic Four. I want to love
Oh my God.
costumes. I want to love the set design. I want Sue Storm to have one of those kitchens where everything is trimmed in like robin egg blue because that's like the color of the times. That's what I want. I want to see that shit.
Bro, like Matt Shackman, WandaVision man himself is the perfect man to capture like that 60s that 60s feel.
Cool,
so like I'm very happy that he's doing this project because he's the man. He freaking nailed it in WandaVision. But yeah, in that photo, we do see that H.E.R.B.I.E is in the robotic H.E.R.B.I.E servant slave of the Fantastic Four. So like, who do you guys think should voice H.E.R.B.I.E?
Who are the contenders again? Who has Twitter been passing around? I kind of forget.
Well, I think that the rumor is that Marvel Studios is looking for a comedian specifically to fulfill the role as H.E.R.B.I.E. I personally recommend Conan O'Brien because I love Conan O'Brien.
God.
I think that Conan is just so silly as a man. Yes. And like he's so good at improv. And he has that like Robin Williams type of like improv like craziness energy that I'm like, yeah, let's make H.E.R.B.I.E like this like genie-esque type of like robotic character. I would love that.
Oh shit, yeah, that's a good one. I might pitch Tom Kenny because yes,
we all
know him for SpongeBob, of course, but he was also the Ice King, aka Simon Petrikov in Adventure Time, and that is some of like the best voice acting I've ever heard in my life. And so I want more Tom Kenny in everything. I want Tom Kenny in the MCU especially. And yeah.
What about you, Tom? You got any ideas for?
Oh yeah, I've got one idea in specific. I think the only voice for H.E.R.B.I.E is Miss Edna Turnblad herself, Harvey Fierstein, Broadway darling, the guy with the gravelly voice that talks like this. Has the best line in Independence Day. I gotta call my mother. Call my lawyer.
Oh my God.
Maybe just my mother. And then when he's about to get murked by the aliens, he goes, "Oh crap."
That would honestly be very fun. I would like that. I think that'd
give me the Fierstein. Trailblazer, one of the first, like, not one of the first, but definitely one of the most outspoken, openly gay men. That was pursuing an acting career in the 70s and 80s, which seems crazy because it wasn't that long ago. But I have a lot of respect for Harvey Fierstein anyway, and I just think his voice is so interesting. And he's so funny. He's so damn funny that I think, much like Conan and Tom Kenny for that matter.
I really like that idea. But also, now that we brought up Tom Kenny, for some reason, that reminded me of Jim Rash from Community.
Oh, yeah.
Who played the Dean. I feel like he would also be fantastic as H.E.R.B.I.E. He's already in the MCU as, I think he's a dean at MIT in Civil War. But like he could just double dip and we can just use his voice.
Well, it could be like he designed the program, right? Like it could be like he designed, he and Reed Richards like teamed up to make the H.E.R.B.I.E robot or something like that. Or it's that guy's father.
He's the fifth member of the Fantastic Four.
And then he gets cryogenically frozen like Austin Powers and wakes up in the present. And then he wakes up in like 2006 and now he's the dean at Greendale, but the cryogenic freezing messed him up a little. And he used to be the dean at MIT and now he's the dean at Greendale because the cryogenic freezing didn't work and it froze half of his brain off. And so now
I hope they said he was cryogenically frozen in Wakanda. He was like next to Bucky the entire time.
He was, but Bucky didn't get messed up and he did. He got hella messed up. The cryogenic freezing, his got unplugged for like 7 hours and nobody noticed.
I love the idea. And I like maybe it's like a reverse Flowers for Algernon where he does gradually get smarter. Like he starts to get his brain back, but he's like just a complete imbecile for the first bit of unfreezing. And like slowly he's like, wait a second. I'm starting to remember again. Water can exist in 3 states: solid, liquid, and gas.
A revelation.
Excelsior!
But do you guys want to hear like a weird Fantastic Four? Not really weird, but like, I always have like these weird theories for all sorts of things. But I feel like Fantastic Four is going to have an unlikely cameo from someone that we've seen before in a recent MCU film. And it's a fan favorite character. And some would say that life is a little bit rough for her. Sorry. I'm talking about Cosmo, the space dog.
Cosmo, the space dog.
I'm so stupid. I'm so sorry. That's the lamest thing I've ever said.
No, you're Perfect.
I think we might see Cosmo the Space Dog in the Fantastic Four movie because we learned in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 that Cosmo disappeared in, I think, 1966 as a part of the Soviets' mission to space. And we see it in obviously like a trademark of Cosmo is her ability to use telepathy to like lift things with her mind. So like I feel like in the Fantastic Four we might see how the cosmic radiation that give the Fantastic Four their powers will, give Cosmo her powers of lifting things with her mind. And like, because the Soviets were like, we want to be like the Fantastic Four. We want to send people to space. That's my terrible Soviet accent. I'm so sorry.
Get a little space race in there. Hell yeah.
Yes, it's all about the space race.
Space race to the MCU. Why not?
They have 4 humans. We have 1 dog.
But also, like, this is like, sort of like extra theory territory, but like, there's this character in Marvel Comics called the Red Ghost. I don't know if you know the Red Ghost. It's like this Russian scientist who basically has these mutated monkeys. Like, he goes into space and these monkeys get mutated. And like, so like the monkeys are like part of like his squad.
Like Taylor Swift squad?
Taylor Swift squad of mutant monkeys. Yeah, no, I could totally see Marvel like having the Red Ghost be like sort of like a villain or be introduced in a Fantastic Four movie if they're like, we're talking about the Soviets and mutant animals and all that stuff. Like, we could potentially see the Red Ghost make an appearance. And I feel like the Red Ghost and his monkeys would make really great Guardians villains. That'd be really fun.
Dude, that would be sick.
It doesn't seem like we're getting Doom in this movie, at least as Doctor Doom yet. Like, it feels like they're going in another direction. And maybe we'll get Victor just as the like scientist lab partner of Reed Richards or something like that. Like, maybe just as a coworker. And I think anyone who saw the Roger Corman classic wants a little justice for Mole Man too. Maybe a Patton Oswalt.
Oh my, I freaking love Mole Man. I freaking love Mole Man as a character. Like freaking, what's his face? The dude from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. What's his name?
Moranis.
Yes, he would make a great Mole Man. He'd be freaking fantastic. Or obviously Danny DeVito, everyone's number one favorite choice for Mole Man.
Oh, absolutely.
He's 80 though. Let the guy rest. Let him just.
I know.
It's true.
The fact that he's still doing Always Sunny is quite incredible.
Oh, yeah. It really is. Dude, I know that this is morbid as fuck, but I bet that the Always Sunny cast has a banger script ready to go for when he dies inevitably.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Like they probably have the funniest fucking death script already written and saved away.
Yeah.
I bet Danny's already like signed off on it and all sorts of things.
Right. He just helped them write it.
Yeah. No, I hope that we pre-plan my death that well. I hope that we do.
We've got pre-recorded episodes of all of us doing it for each other's death scenarios.
Exactly. Yeah, pre-recorded episodes because Brett's going to live the longest probably. I don't know. He seems the healthiest depression-wise out of our team.
He'll have to do a solo episode mourning us all.
Yeah, he'll have a solo episode where he has to play dead wife footage of all of us. Like dead wife footage. You guys know what I mean. The old DFW, DWF, where like a guy goes in with a little camera and the wife is under the sheets and he films her and then it plays back in his memories every single time he thinks about her. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I get what you're saying.
Dead wife footage. So Brett will just play a whole podcast episode of dead wife footage of all of us that we've all signed off on. Okay, sorry. I don't want to talk about Danny DeVito's inevitable death anymore. I feel bad about it.
This is taking a turn that I did not see coming.
I want him to live forever. He will never die.
I'm not going to lie. I thought when I talked about Danny DeVito getting a little much-deserved rest, we would go in a positive direction.
I know, but you said rest and 80-year-old in the same sentence. Everyone's thinking it.
Death scenarios here. I'll never die because my conscience will be uploaded to the Ultron merch store, a store that does not exist. But you know what store does exist? Guardians of the Palaxy .store, baby.
Hey.
Our official human-generated merchandise store with art by the wonderful Paintimenti. Well, guys, Palaxy Papa Tom wants to take a nap, but he can't take a nap.
I love that.
before we quickly dance over the topic of this Deadpool trailer that came out on Super Bowl Sunday. I know it was about a month ago, but by now you should be re-energized and ready to talk about the Deadpool trailer, of which was, it was basically a teaser. They didn't give us a lot. They gave us just enough. They gave us a lot of Ryan Reynoldsing. It was very funny. We got the Wolverine sink, snick claws coming out. We got we got some humor.
We got Ryan Reynolds talking about pegging.
Is it a Deadpool movie if Ryan Reynolds does not talk about pegging? I mean,
it's not even a Deadpool movie unless he does. It's not Deadpool until he talks about pegging. The first
they don't call it DP for nothing.
Yeah, they don't call it that for nothing, boys.
It's only a Deadpool movie if it comes from the pegging region of France. If not, it's just sparkling Marvel. The setup of the teaser trailer is basically like the TVA is going to take Deadpool, and what we can ostensibly see is he's going to learn all of the different multiverses that he's basically going to become the viewer. He's going to know everything that has happened in the Fox universe. Maybe Spunsy, probably not. Maybe they'll probably make a joke about it. At this point, they'll probably start to play the first 2 minutes of Mobius and be like, never mind.
Yeah, as long as we get a Morbius joke in there, I will be very happy.
I can't imagine we don't. I could actually see Jared Leto going in the movie and playing himself, doing something as himself.
There's no way. That dude's ego is way too big for him to be insulted.
I know, but
I don't know.
No, that's not true. He did that he did that viral TikTok in the aftermath of Morbius when everyone was making fun of him. He made a TikTok of him sitting on the bed reading a script, and someone was like, "What are you reading?" And he was like, "Oh, nothing. It's my next project. It's a secret." And they were like, "No, show me what it is." And they ripped the pages away from him, and it says Morbius 2. It's Morbid time. So he was totally making fun of himself. I think he'd do it.
Okay.
I think he'd do it.
I think he's smart enough to know that the best course of action for him is to be in on the joke rather than be the joke. And I do agree with you, MT. He in the past has, just from anecdotal things, I know he has a big ego, but I also know when something becomes that much of a parody, if you continue to defend it as high art, you're going to
you're
gonna end up looking way worse.
We don't want him to pull a Joker round 2. He's just, I think he learned his lesson about defending.
Poor guy, two major flops. Yikes.
Yeah. From the trailer, I think that we are kind of it seems like there's an internet consensus that this movie is Deadpool saves the MCU, which I think is a bit of an unfair. It's unfair to all sides, in my opinion. It's unfair to the MCU. It's implying that it needs a complete fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, and for the most part, it doesn't.
I think the movie Deadpool 3 joining the MCU is enough on its own. I think they'll use the TVA to poke fun of some of the more glaring misses that they made.
Yeah, not having Mobius and Loki hook up. They better.
Yes.
Those guys making out on a jet ski in Deadpool, or so help me God.
I just think they'll use it as a device to take the things they like from the universes that exist and weave them in and then cut some of the things out. I don't think of it as a complete page one rewrite. I think of it as a Frankensteining of all of the universes. I think it'll be more of a I think we could see some of the actors from the Fox X-Men, some of the other Fox movies, the Punisher movies. I think we could see cameos from I could see Kevin Nash coming back as Shipwreck. Is that how he played Shipwreck? I think
did he play
He's a big wrestling dude. He was dressed like a little sailor boy in the movies, but I could see him cameoing.
Oh, man, I didn't even know.
Sadly, we can't get Ray Stevenson back as Punisher, but we could get
that would be so cool.
Thomas Jane could come back as a Punisher variant, and then John Bernthal could maybe kill him. I don't know, as the superior Punisher.
We'll find out.
I just think that I think people that are looking for this as a hard reset, which are generally the people that are always looking for a hard reset, unless it's exactly what they want, are going to be disappointed by this. I think it's going to be more of Deadpool kind of massaging and sewing, using that movie to kind of combine everything, and then it'll be a bit of a reset, just in the sense of there'll be certain things that are introduced to the MCU now that hadn't previously existed because it'll be a little more ham-fisted than just like character introduction. It'll be like, no, we're pulling them from their universe and putting them into the MCU. But I don't think, in my mind, that it's going to be a complete hard reset. What do you guys think?
Oh, I agree completely. Like, I think that, the multiverse saga as a concept was made to as a means of celebration of what came before. Because, like, the reason why we're doing all this, like, Spider-Verse, all this stuff, is so that we can be like, yeah, like, the Marvel is great, and, like, everything Marvel has been fantastic, but now we're going to move on past Secret Wars and, like, do a new beginning type of deal. But, like, I think that, this Deadpool movie was, like I said, like, meant to, like, celebrate everything that came before. We're going to see, like, past actors from the X-Men trilogy come in. And like Tommy said, I feel like, I feel like this movie is going to serve as a way of, possibly even like addressing the fact that the X-Men timeline has been so fucked up and nonsensical for so long.
Definitely going to address that. Of course.
I bet Paradox is going to be like, Deadpool, clean up this timeline, and then we're going to betray you. And because the X-Men timeline doesn't make any sense. So I think it'd be really fun for them to like call out the disorganization of Fox's universe and clean it up.
And he's the one character that can do that, right? Like he's the one character that can do that still in canon. Like it's not a like editor's note. It's a character in the universe that has the ability to like break through dimensions and break through the fourth wall. So I think that that's very powerful, and also kind of the only way they can do it without just completely rebooting, right? Like it's like you got to have a character that can kind of maneuver that way.
I would love to see Deadpool and She-Hulk hook up. Yeah. I know that obviously Marina Baccarin is back to life, so that probably won't happen. But I 100% want to see Deadpool fuck the giant, like when she's like a big lady, like when she's like big and giant, she has like the thickest thighs and like the juiciest booty I've ever seen, and she's beautiful. I want Deadpool to hook up with her. I want them to break the fourth wall. I want them to smash pelvises. I want them to touch tummies. That's what I want.
And I want Mr. Fantastic to watch.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Get it. This is a theme. You guys really want Mr. Fantastic to be
Don't
a cup for
me.
some reason? Jesus.
Just watch it.
Ooh.
What's poppin'? Don't mind me just watching.
But no, I feel like if those two had a baby, like it would literally just be Jim Carrey's The Mask. It would just be that.
It would 100%.
It would be just chaos. Just oh my God, the most chaotic baby of all time. Like I'm very excited to see Deadpool like tackle the multiverse, because he's literally, the multiverse is like a fourth wall breaking type concept in general anyway. So like it'd be cool to see him meet Kevin, to see the return of the Kevin robot. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
If he meets Kevin, though, I want him to kill him. I want him to kill him.
Kill Kevin.
Kill Kevin.
Imagine Kevin like finds his way to the void. That'd be so funny.
He prunes Kevin.
I want it to be revealed that Deadpool messing around at the other TVA is why Victor Timely got spaghettified. And it was because Deadpool really just wanted some spaghetti. And I want there to be a scene where he has a plate full of Victor Timely's like body part spaghetti, like in the Rick and Morty episode, where they eat the suicide spaghetti out of people's tummies. So I want it to be Deadpool eating the Victor Timely spaghetti, standing in front of Loki, who's trapped in the tree, being like, "Hey, pal, you want some? Ooh, yeah, you can't really move your arms there, can ya? Too bad. I got extra Parmesan." And he just keeps going. That's what I want to see. That's the Deadpool bit I want to see.
Nowhere, it's like it's a vampire.
Yeah. Let me write Deadpool. Help me.
Yes, we need more human spaghetti in our movies.
We need more.
Yum. But yeah, man, like I'm so excited to see like what happens in this movie, and like how much of the old, like how many characters from the old like Deadpool movies that we're going to see. Because I'm a big fan of Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Yukio. I'm a big stan of their relationship. I want to see them to be mainstays of the MCU. I love them. I stand them. I want a wedding special.
And I want Deadpool to be the maid of honor.
Oh,
Yes.
I want him to be in charge of throwing Negasonic Teenage Warhead's bachelorette party.
Yes.
I want Deadpool to be the flower, like the little ring bearer, but he's been decapitated again, so he still has the baby body, and he's just running down with the ring.
Yeah,
Like,
and he's just running down with the little, hell yeah. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yes.
He gets decapitated at the bachelorette party, so he has to show up as the ring bearer at the wedding.
It's part of the weird show. He hires like a bunch of like strippers with katana swords, and they accidentally decapitate him.
Yes.
Let us all write this movie for crying out loud.
Yeah, for crying out loud. Give us an MCU script. Let us cook.
Galaxy think tank. I got to be honest. That's enough to take me into the next week. Pals, I had a great time talking with you.
Yes, this has been fun.
Fantastic.
Hell yeah. And just a quick reminder to all of our pals out there before we sign off, before we disappear into the multiverse like Victor Timely in a bowl of spaghetti, please make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell and comment and do all that stuff, because we are so close. Dude, we are so close to hitting 10,000 followers, and I'm really, really excited about that. We might do something super special once we get 10,000 followers. We might do like another cool live stream or something like that. So please help us get there. Please share the Palaxy with your friends. What I do when I want to show my friends podcasts that I like is I trap them in my car and I tell them that we're going on a road trip. But in reality, as we're going to the road trip, it is just an excuse for me to trap them in one place for 40 minutes and listen to the podcast of my choice. So please do that.
Kidnap your friends.
Do that with kidnap your friends. Light kidnapping, not full on. You're going to take them home eventually. Light kidnapping, nothing
legally
too
gray
heavy.
kidnapping.
Legally gray kidnapping. Put on an episode of Palaxy. Tell them to listen. My two favorite episodes are Echo and Avatar ones. Give those a re-listen. They're still good.
Yes, I love those.
You need to catch up on those shows. Give them a re-list. Do it. Make your friends do it. Subscribe. Tell everyone. Tell your kids. Tell your wives. Tell your husbands. Tell your mistresses. Tell your social studies teacher. I don't give a shit. Tell everyone you know.
Also, tell your mistresses that I'm also single. So, like, if you're feeling frisky.
Hashtag fill up MT.
All right, bitches. Palaxy out. I love you guys. We love you all.
Gang, gang.
Have a good day.
Bye.